know what it is there. Tom Sorsa, Jim Riley, Trevor Rieger, Joe Zillig, Harry Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perdita Goodwater, Elton Anderson, John Wiley, Tim Hall, Billy Wall, 61 Oyster Cracker Man, the All-American, GPS Paso Robo, Rapist Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon, and El Reese. What it is, Bernard, is some of those guys basically figuring out that it's a setup and a con and a scam and a grift. It's a set-in. That you guys planned it. So a lot of them already know that you guys are stupid as fuck, Bernard. Picking Street, Jamaica Street Gang for screwing up Greg's stuff and those other guys' stuff in the first place to make everybody live in a shit pile, Bernard. And so life moves forward. And Bernard and All-American and Perlita, and they let you pretend, the group of you pretend that you rule the earth, but you don't. And those guys that have been around and people who pay attention and use my stuff or whatever and work with the community still, they still move forward doing their stuff while you pretend to rule the earth, Perlita and Bernard and All-American. Just like they did the last few times. Because they know the group of you are stupid as fuck with the hillbilly squads. And the Gato gangster life of the Negroes or whatever, Bernard. They know who the group of you are. We're growing everything. And so they circumvent it. Life goes on even though you're dumb shits. And they let the group of you pretend to rule the earth with the Robo Rapist Knight and the Whispering Faggot and all their little boast of how great of criminals they think they are, but they're stupid shits, because everybody knows about it, Bernard. About how you're a super massive, violent, pedophile, rapist, thief who fucked up everybody's shit, dude. Or we're one of those men. Life goes on. And so they give you the delusion of leadership, Bernard, because they know you're a dipshit. And then also, like San Diego Reader, it's a wave. They made a wave out of San Diego Reader for you, Bernard. And even though you live in denial, they basically prove that Ellery fucked up Kim's wave or whatever and killed her. Just like they did before. And then they put the man on the beach with their wave, with the San Diego Reader wave, going, here, Bernard, we know. But you live in denial, Carney boy. So they gave you that, and basically they go, well, it's Ellery and Bernard and the Robo Faggot Knight, or a murderer. It's the same Bitted Bat Blue Boy 4. Carnies, Red Randy, Hillbilly Squads. So the San Diego Reader basically gets to run their own news. So you basically make them, the group of you made them just as powerful as the New York Times or any of the other major news publications. So as the New York Times proved, Joe and that Dave and all them up there are the big fuck-ups that fucked everything up. Then the San Diego Reader does theirs, with the Union Tribune proving that the group of you fucked everything up, Bernard, Elton, Don, because people have watched it. They birthed kids through you guys' mayhem. And so those who are around, the senior citizens, if you want to call them that, or the elderly, they go around, they still do their thing. They basically run the city still, Bernard, but they circumvent all you guys' bullshit. And those in the community have been here for a while who still run, who know the traditional routine, they do theirs. They just move around the dumb shits that you either want to work with it and go with the flow and help out, Bernard, or you don't. So they give you your delusion and your crybaby story with Red Randy and the Hillbilly Squads and his crybaby fit over the El Cortez, but that's not his either. And it's not Elton's, even if you guys buy it. It's not you guys's. And so we also help the Hiltons move up. We make another young millionaire, successful. She's not as dumb as you guys think. Her and Nikki. So her family helps her go up because they go and get into their routine, Bernard. Maybe it's not really ever been about leadership or taking control or telling everybody what to do, Bernard, because that generally doesn't work. Does it? David going over there, Tom, you're not a Jew. We're going to prove Whispering Facts. You're not Jew. This is how I'm going to rule the earth. Even if you get all that, Dave or Bernard or Perlita, do you guys still rule the earth when I'm gone? Probably not, because the normal people who, do their thing, that they're getting into it now they know the root, they're learning about everybody in the new stuff. They get into their mode of doing how it used to be, Bernard, before you guys trashed it. So look at all the time you wasted, Bernard, and Roble Knight, and Ellery's and your team there, Pickett Street, Jamaica Street, Google Duncan, and Joe, when you didn't need to do it at all. And then if you guys didn't do it, none of us would be all nasty and fucked up and jalopitated. So the point you proved for your warfare, Dave, was completely useless. So like I said, go back over there and sit on your stone, Carnini it. So get down on Carnini, Boys to Men. And like I said, we kind of figure out that Bernard and them screwed up James Neal, or Ellery screwed up Kathleen Neal and messed her all up. Because in there's a supermassive violent pedophile adult fag who's a man who just doesn't get that there's the three blue boxes, and their obsession is what's fucked everything up. And then, like I said, after Jim, the All-American, and this crappy comes after me going, well, since Jim and Tom weren't on our side, there must be illegals. And then we'll go after Justin. Then we'll go after Aaron and Victor. And basically, Bernard, you want to try to be the criminal, you want to be the vampire bat of the underworld. Or try to show up, like I said, Tom Cruise in an interview with the vampire Kristen Dunst, or, Brad Pitt. It's not hard to find out who the bidded bet for are fatzos. And they can't get in because, the 70s, the Aurora Central Debate Team 70s Club, it's too late, Karen. You can't get into it. It's like Joe and them. They did it for the kid, if that was me, that they killed, right, back then. And then they brought me back. You can't get into it after Joe and them all fucked it up and then try to become cool like the criminal gangster, because maybe that's how it never was. So you can't tell everybody what to do, and the child in me what to do, Karen, after you mutilated us and drug us through the dirt, and your sister through the dirt. After Joe and them abused the living shit out of us for no fucking reason, and then taking over everything with the Negroes. So like I said, they give you the perception, Bernard, and African Americans and whoever, that you think you run the earth with your comic book delusion, but you don't. Perlita, they don't do ghetto. I kept telling you that. A lot of those guys are not that way. They don't do the Negro ghetto stuff, the rap. They don't generally do country and western. They were born in cities, towns like this, and they helped build them up. They can't relate to it. So you're trying to bring the farm and the hillbilly into their city, into a surf town, like I already told them. So even their little preppy boy trying to be the surfer, they go, whatever. Has nothing to do with the Colombians, Bernard. It has everything to do with you group of Westerners who left your traditional England or whatever, and then you come over like a bunch of hillbilly cowboys, come through and kill out the Indians, what's left of the original natural eye. And then you go into other countries, Bernard, go back to Spain or Israel or Russia or Japan, and then, or even down south into Mexico, or to the Cubans or the Colombians or Canada, and start telling them what to do when you're just some hillbilly white boys with a lot of money. That's what gets you in trouble, Bernard. So if Aaron and Victor went down to Mexico, I don't know if they're there or not, that might have gotten them in trouble, because Haley might be both Spaniard and Jew, kind of like me and my father. So they know that Joe's trying to double coin it, and you guys trying to get in there so you can, have your dick where it didn't belong, Bernard. That's your typical football style. Like I said, Boys to Men, down on bended knee, and then there comes Bernard. I'm gonna kneel down in front of the computer and worship the little girl. Down on Carnini, Carninis. Like I said, then you have a super hottie chick, Carnini, and the girl looks like my cousin, Amanda Carnini. So it just proves you're a psychopath, Bernard. You're a bunch of white boy Westerners that went down to Mexico or in those areas. You don't know anything about their culture, but you guys sit there and bully them around and tell them what to do with a lot of money. But they're rich people too with a lot of power, Bernard. They kind of just do the same thing and go, yeah, whatever, dude, whatever. And then they'll do their own thing without you knowing about it, Bernard. It's just like I said, the parents going out on the weekends and leaving the kids home alone while you run your torture tank on me and Brian and whoever, for asserting that's what gives you a dominant power. But see, Bernard, you're an older man. and all American, and you're doing it to younger children. So those guys that have been around a lot longer than you guys that know how it works kind of figure out that the group of you wild Westerners are just a bunch of pussies anyway. Just like you guys came charging across the United States, taking everything over. Point is, Bernard, if you guys stuck with your stuff out here in the traditional England and didn't abuse the children to death and go crazy over the amphibious base and terrorist attack it, and then that thing copies over to the overseas, what, you guys don't think they know over there either? You wouldn't have a problem. So basically, Bernard and Perlito, you're being humiliated with Karen Country and Western because you guys have been given so many opportunities to do it, and then you fuck up mine. Which is probably pissing them off because they want the thing to work because they don't want people to be sick, Bernard. How fucking stupid are you, Christians, to keep doing that shit? So they know you guys manipulate those churches, Bernard. They're not dumb. They know you guys use the food to fatten people up, and you guys make fun of, It's you guys trying to assert power where you have none, Bernard. And then you guys regret it that it doesn't work now because life sucks. Well, sorry, Bernard. Too bad you guys split it up and fucked it all up. They kind of get the whole story of the 2 girls, 1 boy. There's me and Bailey and Kim, or, my sister, me and Sasha, or, me and my 2 cousins, Bernard. Joe is not that really difficult to figure out. A lot of it probably had him figured out when he came back from Korea anyway. So life went on as they watched him showboat and tear shit up, all American, and his friends. And they circumvented you guys' bullshit. So while you guys are showing off and doing that shit, Bernard, they came up with new systems just like they're doing now. And so they give you the perception, or that you perceive that you're leading, but you never were. So like I said, even San Diego Reader and them have figured it out, Bernard. They gave you their wave, basically proving that Ellery was a dipshit and fucked everything up out here, and then you're the second one that just doesn't get it, Bernard. And they, like I said, since you're so pedophilely gay, they gave it to you even though the rainbow isn't his. And they go, there you go, but you guys screwed over the girl from Vermont, and then you guys screwed over the girl from Ensenada because you guys nightmared it, Joe, because Dave's and Perlita are the most spoiled special people in the world. And they give you your answer, Bernard, in the San Diego Reader in their type of wave. That it was a faggot pedophile man like Bernard LaChance, or the GPS Paso Robo rapist knight, or the All-American that murdered Kim. Just like Ellery. Because you guys like to hump the girl under the tree. And the girls from the countryside already came in, Bernard, and said it was Ellery. You just live in denial because you're one of those football fags. And so guess what? Some of the guys who are sick and tired of football, you do it my way and go, man, this is 10 times better than football, and let Red Randy and you guys bend that down on carny knees and look stupid as fuck. Because everybody's sick and tired of your football diaries and the wrestling diaries and the soccer diaries of Harry. And that's just the way it is, Bernard. People move on. They're not as dumb as Perlita and Dave hope to be, because they get sick and tired of you guys torturing and abuse because it's unnecessary, and those cultures down there, a lot of them that haven't been seen for a while don't do it that way, Bernard. But Joe wanted to do his water tanks of stupidity and wire it into a Fairmount Cemetery and fuck shit up. They even proved that, Perlita. That you guys roundhoused into that house many times while stealing everybody's shit. Though the people on the corner of the street, they're a Pickett Street stealing bikes. And then, oh, look, the All-American Attila, the Oyster Cracker Man. They got his shit so figured out. And you guys' obsession over your boxes and your fake Judaism, Joe and Bernard, they let you guys hover around perceiving that you rule the earth, but really, the military and the tech companies and those people who've been around, IHS, Lockheed, FBI, CIA, and anybody who wants to help that have been around for a while, actually still, they get control over it, and, chances of you ever seeing that evolution come true, Bernard, like zero, because they know you guys cheated your way through it and chipped yourselves to make Dave God with Perlita, and most people don't give a fuck.